Hi there, Dal from Challengers Comics here to talk to you about Absolute Wonder Woman. There's a whole bunch of other books this week for books releasing on Wednesday, October 23rd, 2024, Challengers Comics and Conversation, and so many other places around the globe. Absolute Wonder Woman is the book I want to talk about the most. I honestly considered making this video just about Absolute Wonder Woman and keeping it really short, but you will see in a moment how incredibly huge this week is and how unreasonable keeping it to just Absolute Wonder Woman would be for our bottom line. But let me just say this, Absolute Wonder Woman, a book we've been raving about at Challengers for weeks since we got a chance to read the PDF advanced copy of it. Honest to God, it's maybe my favorite book of the year. I read it digitally weeks ago. I am reading it again tonight now that it's in print because I'm so excited to get a chance to read it again. If you bought Absolute Batman and you are aware of the fact that Absolute Batman is maybe the biggest launch DC has had in a decade, if not longer, it is a book that people outside of comics are talking about. Let me assure you, Absolute Wonder Woman is better. It is a better comic than Absolute Batman #1, and Absolute Batman #1 is one of my favorite Batman comics I've read in a long, long time. This issue is phenomenal. Kelly Thompson, Hayden Sherman, Jordi Belair absolutely kill it. Pun intended, I guess. But it's such a great take on the Wonder Woman character. It, like Absolute Batman, makes changes to the origin that make perfect sense once you see them in action. It is maybe my favorite version of Wonder Woman that I've read. I actually feel a little bad for Tom King and Daniel Sampere for not getting to do this version of Wonder Woman in their book. It's so good. We have a ton of copies. We are going to make sure that this book is in the hands of as many people who are willing to try it out as possible. And much like Absolute Batman, we are giving this our money back guarantee. Not just you can bring it back if you don't like it and switch it for a different book. I will give you your money back because I know that there is no chance that you're going to buy this, read it, and want to bring it back. You will probably want to be buried with it. It's so good. So anyway, Absolute Wonder Woman #1 is out this week. We got a bunch of different covers. We got some incentive covers. We've also got this week Alien Romulus. This is a prequel comic. If you saw Alien Romulus, this takes place basically as a prequel to all of the events that happened in the film. Pretty much what a prequel means. If you liked Alien Romulus, this is conceived and approved and forwarded by the director. So yes, if you like the movie and you want a little bit more backstory on the events that the main characters stumble onto in Alien Romulus, this is the book for you. Art and Courage. This is a new book put together by the Center for Cartoon Studies. They do some great work. We've had a few of the alumni here in the past. $3, great book. Tom Taylor and Mikkel Janin are your new creative team for Detective Comics. If you liked the multiple award-winning Nightwing run written by Tom Taylor, you are going to like this Detective Comics. Much like all the other All-In comics this month, this is a great jumping on point. You don't have to have read the previous series. Basically, if you've read a Batman comic before, and odds are in 85 years you probably have read one Batman comic, you're ready to go with this. Very fun story. Introduces a new threat to Batman, and also in a very Tom Taylor way starts to really explore whether or not Batman is fighting crime in the best way possible in Gotham City. We've got a new printing of Batman Long Halloween, Last Halloween #0. We probably way under ordered this when it came out, so if you picked up #1 and want the little prelude to it that actually released a few years earlier, come in and grab it. Day of the Dead Girl #1, we had AJ Mendez and Amy Garcia here for an event this past Saturday. They were great. They signed copies of the event edition that we still have for $30, but if you just want to read the regular book, it's $3.99, and we got that in this week too. DC Horror. It is spooky month, so here is the first issue in a new miniseries. This has 2 short stories in it featuring The Deadly Dollhouse and Wonder Woman. Flash, All-In special. This, like all the other All-In comics for the month, great jumping on point. I hadn't really been reading the Flash stuff that Simon Spurrier had been doing the last few months. Jump back on with this one, really enjoyed it. Very fun Wally West and family adventure. What would be the pick of the week if it were any week other than Absolute Wonder Woman week? It's Godzilla's Monster Piece Theater, where Godzilla fights his most dangerous nemesis yet, The Great Gatsby. Tom Scioli is insane in this. It's Godzilla versus some of the greatest literary characters of the early 20th century. It's bonkers. It's really fun. It's an oversized issue. It's $7, but you will not regret it. Green Lantern Dark #1. Tate Brombal from the Slaughterverse and Werther Dell'Erda also from the Slaughterverse, are doing I would say a new take on the Tangent Green Lantern character, but that would presume that anyone out there besides me and maybe two other customers I could name, but I won't, actually remember the Tangent Green Lantern character and have any sort of fondness for it. For all intents and purposes, this is a brand new Elseworlds Green Lantern comic featuring more of a mystical Green Lantern character fighting an army of zombies in a perpetually night enshrouded post-apocalyptic story. If you like, again, like the Slaughterverse stuff where it's darker, it's creepier, it's a little bit more melancholy, here's your Green Lantern comic book. Hack/Body Bags. Tim Seeley is paying homage to the classic Jason Pearson characters of Body Bags with this new miniseries. Harley Quinn, new creative team. It's Elliot Kalin, it's Mindy Lee. It's a new costume for Harley Quinn, and again, like all the other All-In books, jumping on point. Iron Man #1. This is the new Spencer Ackerman, Julius Oda Iron Man book. He's got a new armor on the cover, but you are going to read an issue first that explains why he has this incredibly weird looking, almost medieval armor. It's a good first issue because it really takes its time. It doesn't just throw you into a brand new status quo. It works to link together what these creators are going to be doing with what the character's been going through for the last few years. If you haven't been reading the other stuff, the Jerry Dugan X-Men comics before this, you're all set. This will tell you what you need to know. Good jumping on point, great. Christopher Negative Space variant. New issue of The Moon is Following Us, issue 2. Both covers on the same day. It's amazing. Nightwing, All-In issue. We got a new creative team, Dan Waters, who did one of the Six Fingers or One Hand books. I never remember which is which. And Dexter Soy. A lot of people are probably going to be jumping off of Nightwing because it's no longer the multiple award-winning creative team of Tom Taylor and Bruno Redondo. I would caution you to stay with it. This book is going a little different. They're digging a little bit more into some of like the crime families of Bloodhaven. I thought this was solid. I really enjoyed it. It's a different vibe than the more Dick Grayson-oriented Tom Taylor, Bruno Redondo stuff. We're playing a little bit more with Nightwing the superhero, but I thought it worked. It was a fun first issue. Power Fantasy #3. I never remember. It's Power Fantasy #3. I'd say 2 covers, but 50-50 variant. Power Girl, great jumping on point. It's still Leah Williams writing it. It is still probably maybe underread, considering how good Leah Williams is. Powerpuff Girls Halloween Special. Sacred Damned, which is the newest issue in the Horizon experiment. This is, I believe, from one of the writers of the Ms. Marvel TV show, doing a kind of Hellblazer-esque character. Superman, oh my gosh. So this one I feel like is going to go under the radar for a lot of people. Like the other All-In issues, this is A, great jumping on point, and B, probably not clear that it's a great jumping on point to a lot of readers because it is issue 19. While it is still Josh Williamson and it is still following on a lot of the storylines that he had in the first 18 issues, the big news, 2 things. First, Dan Mora is the new artist. Now, you may be saying, but Dal, I was told that Dan Mora would be drawing Justice League Unlimited. You don't know how many comics Dan Mora can do in a month. He's going to be the artist on Superman and the artist on Justice League Unlimited and probably doing variant covers for Boom and maybe doing a new graphic novel every single month. I don't know. This is great. I've really enjoyed the first 18 issues of Superman, and Dan Mora brings this thing up to another level. And the other big thing it does is it introduces the Lois Lane Superwoman character. What's great about this issue is she's in it. They're not telling you how she got there yet. You will have to wait and see, but it is worth reading. There's some cool villains in this, including a villain who's also another villain. The artwork is gorgeous. The story's a ton of fun. Josh Williamson doing a great job at DC, and this issue perfect for jumping onto if you have not been reading the previous 18 issues, despite us telling you how good they are. TMNT, this one, Cliff Chang drawing the Leonardo Spotlight issue. Still written by Jason Aaron. The first 10 people who come in and grab this on Wednesday will get a Leonardo enamel pin. Space Usagi back with a new miniseries by Stan Sakai. Venom reprint of the first appearance of Knull, and I will not hear it pronounced any other way. Wolverine #1 reprint. I think we still have copies of the first print, but if you want this cool reprint of the Patrick Gleason Adamantium Skull variant, we got it. And that's pretty much going to do it for this week. Oh, hey, let's talk about all the hundreds of graphic novels that came out as well. Creature from the Black Lagoon hardcover's out. Revival Compendium. Look at how big and thick this book is. Perfect to get you started. Maybe you'll finish it by the time the sci-fi TV show comes out. Cabinet, great miniseries from Image, has its collection out this week. Zawa, which was the Michael D'Analis kind of YA horror book. Blood Hunt. This is just the miniseries, so that's why it's not gigantic. This was great. I hope everybody who read it enjoyed it as much as I did. I thought it was a blast. We got a bunch of new YA stuff. We've got a bunch of manga, and oh my god, we have probably the biggest version of Scary Godmother I've ever seen. This is back in print. It is massive, one, just in the height and length version, but depth, oh my god, look, it's so big, it's so heavy. This is, I think, everything. It's full color, it's black and white, it's got a ton of stuff. This is, much like the Scary Godmother collection here, a gigantic week. This is an 11-minute video, and I still didn't talk about every book that's good this week. But again, if you remember one thing from this video, and you won't, Absolute Wonder Woman, our pick of the week, maybe our pick of the year. You're insane if you miss it. It's so good. Better than Absolute Batman. You can put that on the graphic novel. Thanks for watching. Keep reading comics.